Neil, you can call me UD, however, whichever one you choose. And yes, this is Eagle's Morning Rise. 2 minutes gone past the hour of 7 on the AM side. Heading to work? Okay, you're doing the needful. But if you've not been able to lay hands on the papers to knowing what's going on today, well, guess what? I've got something for you, and it is called the Pages. But just before I jump into all of that, let me greet you in our native languages, at least 4 of them, right? So in Akwana, Karo, Dewonu, and yes, okay, I think that's it. And Amisere. Of course, finally, it will be. Oh, now, good morning. Now, let's get on to the fact of the matter. Now, the fact of the matter is the fact that this is the Pages on Eagles 102.3 FM. And with the Pages, we look at the front page of various newspapers in Nigeria and bring the headlines to you. And in the course of, getting the headlines from this very platform into your eardrums, you find any of them quite interesting. You can indeed join the conversation and let us know your thoughts. But as you do so, please maintain some levels of decorum as well as be civil and responsible with your thought line as you express yourself. But the numbers would be given to you from now so that you don't have to go, helter-skelter looking for it or asking the question of how you can get involved. And so I'm giving you the numbers from now. The number to connect via the studio lines would be 0907 353 0044 or 0908 766 8888. The WhatsApp portal number where you can send your WhatsApp zero. A little mix up there, so let me give it to you again. 0909. Things that you need to know for today being the 15th day in the month of March 2024. Now, you should know that the Olu Ibadan of Ibadan, Oba Lekan Balogun, has passed away. All right, that's a sad one right there. And the 42nd Olubadan was 82 years old, right? Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde announced this. That was really a sad one and a huge blow for Oyo State right there. Then you should also know that President Bola Tinubu had only yesterday, March the 14th, transmitted a letter to the House of Representatives seeking the repeal as well as the reenactment of Students' Loan Bill. The letter was read by the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, and that was during plenary. Senator Abdulaziz Musa Yar'Adua, APC Katsina Central, and was on Thursday, March 14, emerged as the new chairman of the Northern Senators Forum. And the ex-chairman of the forum, Senator Abdul Ningi of PDP Bauchi Central, had on Tuesday resigned from his position, and that was following a suspension for 3 months by the Senate. Then back to the president. Yesterday night, held iftar, which is the Ramadan fast, breaking evening meal with some governors and other government officials. So the Vice President Kashim Shettima, Chief of Staff to the President, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, as well as the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, they were all present at the iftar. Okay, still on the President, he has appointed Dr. Dennis Otuaro as the administrator of the Presidential Amnesty Program, that's the PAP. Now, Otuaro will be replacing Major General Barry Ndiomu, who's retired, who had served as the interim administrator of the program since September of 2022. Now, the Senate has berated the People's Democratic Party, that's talking about the PDP, as Senate President over the 3.7 trillion naira budget padding allegations by the suspended, Senator Abdul Ningi of Bauchi Central. So the chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, in the person of Senator Yemi Adaramodu of the APC Ekiti South, made this assertion in a statement in reaction to PDP's call on Akpabio to step down over the allegations. So let's also let you in on the fact that major internet access cuts struck several African countries yesterday because of damage to submarine communications cables. And according to an operator, Breaks in multiple major undersea cables have affected connectivity services in several West African countries. And that is what the Southern operator MTN Group said in a post on Twitter X. So the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has berated the lack of tracking equipment for security agencies in the nation's capital. He had gone on to say that his administration will purchase drones for surveillance at border communities. In fact, he singled out the FCT commands of the police and also the Department of State Services, that's the DSS, which he said lacked ordinary tracking devices. Okay, that's coming from the FCT Minister Group Manager, or the Group Managing Director, that's the GMD of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, in the person of Millie Carey. He has said that the Port Harcourt refinery will commence operations in 2 weeks' time. Well then, 2 weeks' time, timelines flying here and there. Yari, who appeared before the Senate, 450,000 barrels of oil had been stocked into the Port Harcourt refinery. Okay, 2 weeks' time, we wait. Now, you should know, again, this one, of course, is making the rounds, quite making the rounds. Bandits who abducted 287 school children at Kuriga in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State have demanded a whopping 1 billion naira ransom to set their captives free. They also threatened to kill the victims if the ransom was not paid in 20 days. Okay, so it is all about the money, and that's why we've seen, the surge in crime. And let's jump into what we have for you today on the front pages of major Nigerian newspapers for today, being the 15th day in the month of March 2024. Okay, so this one right here, we were looking at the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, starting off with it. The Nigerian Tribune newspaper on insecurity. NSA. Security chiefs, northern governors meet. NSA, security chiefs, northern governors meet. Page 5 has got that story, and it's got one writer to it. Military working with foreign partners to rescue abducted citizens. You'll find that one on page 5, and that is coming according to the Defense Headquarters, the DHQ. And let's look at this one still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. This one right here, it says international undersea cables in West East Africa damaged. Internet services, banking affected. Page 4 has got that story. Alleged budget padding. Atiku demands immediate probe. You'd find that story on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. And this one says Port Harcourt refinery to begin production in 2 weeks. And that's coming from Carey. And you'd find that story on page 6. Now let's give you the writers to it. It says 450,000 barrels of crude delivered already. A second writer, crude oil production increases in Nigeria, Libya. And that's coming from the OPEC. All right. And let's look at this one right here. It says lawmakers have no business with constituency projects. And that's coming from Akintola. Lawmakers have no business with constituency projects. Akintola's got that one to say. You'd find that story on page 8 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper. This one goes on to say federal government sets aside 100 billion naira for consumer credit in 2024 budget. Bagudu has got that one to say. 100 billion naira for consumer credit in 2024 budget. Bagudu is saying that one. Find that story on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Tinubu transmits students' loan bill to reps. Tinubu transmits students' loan bill to reps. Page 2 has got that story, right? And let's look at the base of this one right here. The base of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. This one says, police recover body parts of murdered Rivers DPO 6 months later. 6 months after, I beg your pardon. Page 12 has got that story, and that's a sad one. Now let's move away from that very story and get on to yet another daily, talking about the Guardian newspaper. Big story, Japa or modern slavery. All right, Japa or modern slavery. How UK visa system deportation risk silence exploited care workers. You'd find that big story on pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper. All right, let's get on to this one. Federal government seeks new Student Loan Act jail term for offenders. Federal government seeks new Student Loan Act jail term for offenders. And page 7 has got that story. Kaduna abductors demand 1 billion naira, threaten to kill victims. You'd find that story on page 29 of the Guardian newspaper. If you joined the Eagles Outlook yesterday, you'd remember that we actually talked about this extensively, right? But then let's get on to this one. It says, man bags life jail term for introducing neighbor's daughter to pornography. Okay, man bags life jail term for introducing neighbor's daughter to pornography. And you'd find that one on page 8. Now let's get on to this one. 2 years after ascension. Quite a sad one. Page 2 has got that story. Now let's bring this one to you. Retired officers to sue IGP scribe over contempt of court order. Retired officers to sue IGP scribe over contempt of court order. News page 8 has got that story. Akpabio threatened over Ningi's suspension as federal government dismisses budget padding claims. All right, Akpabio threatened over Ningi's suspension as federal government dismisses budget padding claims. News page 6 has got that story. All right, so internet outage cripples business operations in Nigeria. Others, you'd find that on page 15. And bringing you this one, IPOB rejects ranching in Southeast, urges governors to defy presidential order. All right, page 28 has got that story with the Guardian newspaper. Just to let you in on the fact that, in case you're just tuning in for the first time, this is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. We give you a radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day. And this is the Pages. What is the Pages about? The Pages is about bringing to your eardrums via this platform the front burner stories, or all of the ahead in the major newspapers in Nigeria, so you get to know what's going on, and if any or every of the headlines jumps at you or you find quite interesting, you can join that conversation when we open the phone lines for you to do so. But then you should save these numbers on your mobile, and that will be 090708766888. You could as well send 705-4450. Taking you to the Vanguard newspaper for today. And the big story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper: 287 Kaduna students abductors demand 1 billion naira. Vow to kill victim. Military vows to rescue school children. All right. Another writer says abduction succeeded because the military was not notified on. And this writer to that story as well says FCT to use drones to track kidnappers. And that's coming from the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike. And we got this one. 19 Northern Governors, NSA service chiefs meet on possible review of security architecture. Okay, so let's bring this one now to you. This one, Benway on Benway, like leaders chair. You find that story on page 13 of monthly salaries, and you'd find that on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Alleged 3.7 trillion naira budget padding. Atiku joins fray, demands probe. And you'd find that on page 12 of the Vanguard newspaper. And let's bring this one to you now. Just above, okay, before we go above, the Vanguard newspaper banner, let's look at this one. It says 50 taxes will be reduced to single digit in Lagos. That's coming from the LIRS. And the chair, that's talking about Subaru. And you'd find that one on page 4. Okay, taking you now above the Vanguard banner, a Vanguard newspaper banner, and we'll see this one. It says, high interest rates, risk aversion, drive pension funds to federal government securities. I'll take that again. High interest rates, risk aversion, drive pension funds to federal government securities. And you'd find that on page 19. Page 2 has got this one coming from Cary. It says Port Harcourt Refinery will deliver petrol in 2 weeks. And this one here says Tinubu to governors, it's time for governance. Let's set aside political differences. Page 2 has got that story. And the last I'll be taken from the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Damaged undersea cable disrupts internet services in Nigeria, African countries. You'd find that on page 28 of the Vanguard newspaper. Now, away from the Vanguard newspaper, let's take you to the Nation newspaper. The big story with the Nation newspaper: federal government eases access to student loan in new proposal. So, federal government eases access to student loan in new proposal, and it's got some riders to it. The first, guarantors parent debt, other hurdles cleared. Second rider, false information is felony. And the last rider, bill scales second reading. All right, federal government eases access to student loan in new proposal. You'd find that story on page. Okay, I need to check on this one very clearly so we can get it correctly. All right, that's not very defined. Okay, I find that already on page 2. So get on to page 2 of the Nation newspaper. You'd find that story right there. And just above that story, we'll see this one. It says, House kicks over NAFDAC's ban on alcoholic drinks in sachet. House kicks over NAFDAC's ban on alcoholic drinks in sachet. Page 28 has got that story. Labor plans showdown with states not paying wage award. Right? Labor plans showdown with states not paying wage award. And you should find that story on page 2 of the Nation newspaper. Looking above the Nation newspaper banner, let's bring this one into your eardrums. Cary Port Harcourt Refinery resumes production in 2 weeks. You'd find that on page 7 of the Nation. Page 7 as well has got this story. Federal government insists discos must recapitalize for efficiency. And on page 7, government remodeling ports to raise standards, says Oyetola. And on page 25, EFCC uncovers how REAMD chiefs misappropriated 124 billion naira. Okay, EFCC uncovers how REAMD chiefs misappropriated 124 billion naira. Find that on page 25 of the Nation newspaper. And just at the base, the very base of the Nation newspaper, you'd find the story: undersea cable cuts cripple internet services for fraud. All right, and that is that with the Nation newspaper today. Now let's punch you with the Punch newspaper. Okay, so the Punch newspaper's got this big story: school attacks. Bandits demand 1 billion naira for 287 Pupils issue March 27 deadline. Page 2 has got that story. It's got a couple of writers to it to prevent bombardment, and that's coming from the DHQ. All right. Okay, so hostages are held and used as human shield, and that's what the DHQ is saying right there. Get on to page 36. Senate reviews 30 trillion naira loan document summons CBN officials. Page 36 has got that story. Facebook, Netflix, Google, others pay 3.2 trillion naira tax. That's coming from the NBS. Page 36 has got that story. PH refinery gets 450,000 barrels. Crude resumes operations April. Page for governance. Tinubu tells governors at Iftar. Page 20, boundary communities. Page 41 has got that story. Many injured, 18 arrested as youths attack Ogun monarch. Pages 4 and 5 has got that story. And the very last one I'll be taking with the Punch newspaper for today would be Nigeria leads as ECOWAS members default on 150 judgment. Page 41 has got that story. And so we should also let you in on what is going on with the Daily Trust newspaper, right? But then this is where we would put a peg on it and open the phone line so that you two can be a part of the conversation. Join the conversation via the studio line 0907 353 0044 or 0908 766 8888. Right? These are the numbers that you can join the conversation via. And you can as well send us a voice note, send us a WhatsApp portal message to 0909 705 4450. All right, so let's take this one very, very quickly. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, UD.
Yes, good morning to you, please. Moses, that's right, Moses.
Yes, the federal government promised 2 weeks to have petroleum. One of the headlines of the news.
That's right.
How reality will it be? How reality? I think we Nigerians, the intelligence of Nigerians is much that we can't play on their intelligence. I wish that they could have not given this news. Let them start producing it first before you cannot tell Nigerians that the federal government has started producing the PMS. But they are telling us 2 weeks.
Oh, that's a mess. Do well to call back, Moses. I believe the network is playing tricks this morning. But then it's still the weekend, and yes, big stories are still floating and flying left, right, and center on the front pages of major Nigerian newspapers. Taking this one. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good morning to you. Welcome aboard.
Plenty things on the papers today. But those who kidnap the students demanding for 1 billion and giving 20 days. Where do they want the community to go and get the money? And I know that this community, they are fighting the children, and now that the president said that no ransom should be paid to any kidnapper, how do we handle the issue of these children? My brother, our lives are in danger in the hands of these people. Can't they trace them with those phones they are calling, even if they are using the victim's phone? Can't security agencies track that very phone and know exactly what? Now, the Minister of SCD is talking of getting prepared at all for covenants. Are they prepared? Because if they are prepared, this thing is something that we have planned and begin to implement. These children are there. Nobody knows what they are passing through. Children. The other time I said the trauma they are passing through, it will take time. Let everybody, both the government and the governed, wake up. Because these kidnappers, they did not come from the air. They live from amongst us. Why can't those who know them begin to transfer and the local people there? To get one man
Okay.
time,
Okay.
only God. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You too. All right. Only God can do the impossible, right? Well, anyways, you raised some points right there. These people can be, traced. They can be found. But then it seems as though the DHQ is also saying that as it stands, they've not said we don't know the location. They're only saying that if we were to go on the very offensive, we might just be taking out those who are innocent. We might be taking out the victims themselves, because these bandits, these kidnappers, are using the victims as human shield. But then, taking more calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
My name is Oga Gabriel.
Right, Oga Gabriel, welcome aboard. Where are you calling from?
Coming from Apple.
From Apo. All right, let's have your thoughts.
I want to say that if the federal government say they want to use the drone to track down the kidnappers of the school children, if it is possible to use this to track them, why have they not been using it before? And one question that comes to my mind is that how is it possible that a whole school, a school like that, is there no security, no police, nothing? That how can they come and catch the whole 300 students at the time like that? Are we not kidnapping every day? For how long?
Right.
And that the federal government cannot stop it. They refuse to arrest their sponsors. And unless they arrest the sponsors of kidnappers will not stop.
Right.
Let us tell ourselves the truth. And some people are doing business in this country with people's lives. It is very unfortunate. How can you come and carry on their head? It's not good.
All right.
May God help us.
God help us. All right, thank you, Oga Gabriel, for that one, all the way from Apo. Well, we'll go pay some bills. When we come back, it will be more giving you a radio experience that you can count on. Hanging in there.
It's just that we want to see other audio. Eagles 102.3.
The city of Abuja is about to encounter one day of perfection through Conference 2024. One day to shape the new year as the year begins. We lay the foundations. Garden, opposite Area 1 shopping complex, Gurki, Abuja. Time, 4 p.m. Come and command your day. Remember, God can be trusted.
It's millions of young Nigerians' economy, education, and family. Join Oikeke Igado Kure on robust discussions, sharing facts and drugs. What are the solutions? How do we find help, even for those affected? Every Wednesdays at 4:30 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja Foundation.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
You are here right now.
Your miracle is here. Just believe and receive. Breaking news. The healing streams are flowing again, and your testimony is next as we anticipate the Healing Streams live healing services with Pastor Chris, holding from
Friday 15th to Sunday 17th March 2024
by 3 p.m. daily. Register now and view the program at
www.healingstreams.tv/zone/capital ABMC.
You can also participate live at Christ Embassy Durumi near American International School. Now, also airing live here in Abuja on Rhythm 94.7 FM and Eagles 102.3 FM. Watch out for more stations. Call or text 0908-748-6039 or 0908-013-2436.
Friday 15th to Sunday 17th March 2024.
3 p.m. daily. Your set time for a miracle. Don't miss it.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable.
Eagles 102.3.
All right, welcome back. This is Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja, your radio experience that you can count on. Remember that you can visit our website, www.tiktok at Eagles FM Abuja. Right, we're still on the pages and we're taking your reactions. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mr. Daniel.
Yes, good morning to you.
I greet all listeners.
That's right. All right, okay.
They have told us that Port Harcourt refinery will commence on 2 weeks. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, from 2 weeks to 2 months. For 2 months to 2 years. For 2 years to 4 years. From 4 years to 6 years. For 6 years to 10 years. For 10 years to 12 years. For 12 years to 14 years.
Okay, it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks is what I read. That's what's on the front page.
I know. But
Okay.
That's the propaganda. From 2 weeks to 2 months, Mr. Daniel. Do you agree? Do you believe on them?
All right, okay.
Yeah, these people, they are thought they were primary school people. And they're nursery.
Okay, can we at least give the chance? Indeed, if they say 2 weeks, let's hold them by the jugular and say, okay, you said 2 weeks. Let's just wait it out.
Hello,
yeah,
Daniel.
Yeah.
I will prefer than what Satan will tell me than what APC will tell me.
Okay.
Okay. What promise they have fulfilled? Tell me one promise they have made to Nigeria. They are free. Let me listen to other Nigeria. God bless you.
All right, Okwe, right there. Okwe, you're quite said a lot though. But look, if we say can we have some faith? Just a little bit faith. I mean, should this run in 2 weeks' time? We would also be the same ones to saying, oh, this is a great thing, this is a great initiative. So for him to have come out saying, I was talking about Military right there, saying, hey, in 2 weeks' time, Port Harcourt refinery should be up and running and getting all the refined fuel to Nigerians. I think we should give him a chance. I'm just saying, though. I mean, rather than just want to just kill it before it begins. Because we don't hear that a lot. But anyways, though, it's all about you, what you think about the front page. We see a couple of messages right here via the WhatsApp portal number, but we'll just take this call and the WhatsApp portal message number right here. But just keep in mind that you can bring the call in 0907-353-004-8888, and the WhatsApp portal number is 0907 0909-705-4450. Let's hear it for Don this morning.
Hello, good morning, my brother Doug.
Good morning to you, Don.
You had a wonderful night rest. Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, thank God.
My name is Don. Okay, you see, my brother, corruption is the reason why Nigeria is going down the drain almost every day. It is one of the reasons why we as a nation is moving backward. From the way I say it, it's my opinion. All right, my brother, did you see the budget breakdown by Channels Television? Something caught my attention. 427 borehole to cost 82.5 billion. My brother, I did the math, and I'm seeing that it is going to cost 193 million naira to drill one borehole. My brother, to drill one borehole. 193 million naira. There are other ones in that budget. ICT, did you see the amount? You see, many Nigerians do not even know what is going on in this country. It bleeds my heart when I was going through these things. Though this has been happening. Shall we continue this way? Drilling borehole is a sign of failure of government. In 21st century, people are everywhere. Most countries they have pipe-borne water, and we are in this. Failure. If they don't know, they should know. This is whatsoever doing any constituency project. That is not what they are elected for. They are elected to make laws and hold the executive to account. But of course, we all know what is going on. I hope we get it right before it's too late. Thank you and have a blessed one.
All right, Don. Right, you've made it clear. And let's get on to Yet Selassie. Good morning to you, Selassie.
Good morning, Ubong, Udwak, Daniels.
That's right.
Good morning to the listeners and callers of this great radio station. My name is Selassie.
military working with foreign partners to rescue Kaduna purpose. Yes, you work with the foreign partners in order to see how they will rescue these children. Kidnappers demand 1 billion naira for Kaduna children, for Kaduna people. That money should be given to them. They should use intelligence. They should use whatever means they can use in order to rescue these Kaduna purpose. Money shouldn't be given to them. You could imagine they are communicating, demanding for 1 billion. I think they can use technology in order to get to these people where you can see the corruption we are talking. We mean from the start of the Buhari government. That is all that has been going on. You remember former Accountant General allegedly stole 109 billion. You remember the Nigerian Air, a person deceived Nigeria, brought in aircraft in no less than 48 hours. That aircraft disappeared. And this man still is with his family, maybe enjoying. So government must fight this corruption. We don't want to be hearing dilly-dally. They should go after them. Do you remember Minister of Humanitarian? About 37 billions. A lot of corruption goes during the time of Buhari, the man of integrity, the man that they call Sahabis. May Almighty God help us. Thank you for giving me the privilege. Now go.
All right, so lastly right there, with your take, let's still take more from the WhatsApp portal, and of course we'll get in, to your calls should time permit.
Well, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. All the listeners, good morning. I want to comment on this bandit. Please, can't our government go into the bush, our forces go into this bush and scatter these people? Why are we always waiting for them to come? 1 billion naira. Where do they want these people to save this money? It is not good, though. It is not good, though. It is not good, though.
Okay, it is not good. You didn't quite tell us your name. It would have been lovely if you had told us your name. All right, I think it's Emeka. But then please always include your name as you send your voice message. Still taking more via the WhatsApp.
Mr. Oga, UT, good morning. How was the night? My name is Honorable Edward.
All right, Honorable, welcome aboard.
Mr. President advising governors to concentrate on governance. Politics is over. It's a wonderful advice coming from Mr. President. I think he made a lot of points there. So what happened to refineries? Is it not part of governance? What happened to refineries? Is it not part of insecurity? Is it not part of governance? The money given to state money to refineries. You can imagine, I was looking before yesterday, I had this rates how much I would buy fuel. You can even see fuel at the filling station. You have the crop. So what's the essence of removing fuel subsidy? This was the reason why. One of the reasons why they removed this thing. And the whole money is being given to state governors. And they will do nothing with it. Nothing's happening. So, and truly, what he said, he's right. But he should also look at his own side of it. I appreciate what he said. So look at it. Because we go to states now. For instance, my own state, Benue State, let me tell you something. There is nothing that's happening there. Because why I say nothing is happening there is that even if you are doing anything and people are being key and you are busy, negotiating for who will be in charge of a party structure. That is what is happening in Benue State. Our leaders are just in party structure. They don't bother with someone. Herdsmen are killing us there or not. And they are killing us. Imagine the figure that you from the caption today. Imagine that figure. How many people are being killed? This our leaders. This means that is also part of governance. So I appreciate you for that. They should sit up. Thank you.
All right. Face governance. You're saying that the president should also look inwardly and do the needful. But then the phone lines are still open for you to, have your thoughts loudly and clearly. And it is also expedient to lines today. OB has come out to Nigeria at this time. And the president has also, in less than 48 hours, after the federal government announced the indefinite suspension of the student loan scheme, the president had sent a bill to the National Assembly, and this bill is seeking repeal of the current act and passage of a new bill. So the president, says the existing act was one of the first legislations which was signed by himself after his inauguration, even though the bill was sponsored by Femi Gbajabiamila, who happens to be the chief of staff to the president during his speakership. Well then, so 2 days ago, a top government official had come out to announce an indefinite suspension of that student loan process or scheme, if you like. But as it stands right now, the president is saying we should revisit, sent a bill right there saying there should be a revisit, repealing the former, and asking for a passage of a new bill to that effect. And, it should also know that Amina High Court has ordered the Federal Ministry of Mines and Power to pay 1.5 trillion naira to Samboro community of Madaka district in a Rafi local government area of Niger State as a compensation for being displaced from for the Zugeru Dam. Right, so that is some story that you might also want to look into. This is still the headlines right here, or the pages right here on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, your radio experience that you can count on. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning, please. Fine, thank you. Very well. Good morning to you, BB.
I wanted to ask you, this old drug. I wanted to ask you now, Makan Day, I dey born you. Go tell me later because my name is that.
Oh, okay.
My name is BB Bless you.
All right.
They born me on Makan Day. And they call drug for my place.
Oh, okay.
God will bless you.
Awesome. All right.
Where you put here na church now, where you carry and go. I know say you carry here na church boy. You need that, make you with a dead there.
Right.
My name is BB Bless you. I call you from Otako. I greet our callers. Salati, everybody, my daddy. I call them my family. Here, no be to talk. Like the people say. Nigeria get to talk. Our talk is they cheap too much. Now to do, now we need. These our children where they kidnap. And somebody don't come out now say, make president no talk about say make them no pay ransom. If that person will come out to support president, say okay, communicate together. What did these people want? After all, who bring these people come for our Nigeria here where they rubbish our children? I want to say for Nigeria, the people where the small children get, where they say they go school, they kidnap the children. They get name for it. Please. If the president get anything to do to release our children, may he do not beg and they beg. This House of Assembly, who they represent, I can imagine if they come big money like this, ask kidnapper no go say how much they need. They go pay, make they release our children, money there for Nigeria, make they pay them. Bye-bye.
All right, BB Blessing, thank you for that. The school children and unite them with your parents unhurt. They've also explained now that they're embarking on a mass, the bandits are now embarking on mass abduction to use their victims as human shields, right? And in view of some clearance operation by its officers and, men. So that is what is going on. That's what the military is saying, is seemingly standing in the way at the moment. But then there has been a meeting that has been convened by security agencies, the service chiefs, all of them meeting together at this point to see how we are faced with at the time. But just to also bring to your eardrums the fact that the suspended Senator Abdul Ningi had come out to discountenance allegations that said that he said that the 2024 budget was padded. So he has said, I never said that the 2024 budget was padded, right? And it plots to somewhat arrest him or take him out, and he is not really very happy about this. He also said that this is opening a cans of worms, and this can of worms neither him nor the National Assembly would be able to handle. So it just goes to telling whether this was intentional or not. But then we'll just take this as the very last. Hello, good morning.
Yes, Barrister.
Good morning to you, Obasanjo. Yeah, right. All right, Obasanjo, because of time, you might want to just go straight. We've got 2 minutes to go.
Okay. Talking about the kidnapping of the school children.
Yeah.
The banditry has requested for the family to pay 1 billion naira in a country where we have military, good military. All over the world, they say Nigerian military are the best. And the DSS, the defense headquarters has come out to say that they cannot found the way those children are. My question is this: the Nigerian military that we knew, that is why I have taught, where the former late generals who died in the plane crash in Kaduna with his colleague. Sir, it came to our community. Why? Because he was listening to this cry. He was listening to this cry. Not allowed that. The issue of insecurity in this country, I am telling you, like the former general said, Abacha, if security lasted for 24 hours, the hands of the government is there with that. So our children cannot be there in the captivity when the press. For why? In the country that we will all fight for, our family fight for, our parents fight for, all Nigerians fight for. These young children are there, nothing, eating nothing.
Obasanjo, time would allow us to go further, but you've made some solid points right there. Thank you so very well. Okay. Well, that's just what it is. Anyways, we hope that as the military have said, right, that they will do the needful. Just to also correct the notion, the kidnappers are using these school children as human shield. So some measures that they would have taken, is somewhat hampered by that. And so there is a meeting being all those, even the NSCDC. In fact, NSCDC should indeed be involved in all of this against these insurgency as we face it in the country. Well, I'll just